And welcome back to the Unboxed Podcast. I'm your host, Rice D. I appreciate all of my solid men and ladies for rocking with me. I hope everybody's enjoying their day so far. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day. I want to welcome everybody in. Let me make sure I take care of business and shed a live out to all of our groups. Make sure all our folks know that it's at that time again. And I hope everybody's enjoying their day so far. I know I definitely am. Just ate dinner. So, yeah, normally when I eat dinner, I'm in good shape. If you are having a great day today, you could drop it in the comments, and also drop a 1 in the chat if you hear me clearly. And if I sound like I'm underwater or you don't hear me, drop a 2 so I can make the corrections that we need to make. We got a great show today as usual. You see I'm rocking the Ravens this football season. Y'all already know why I'm coming. For all of my people who love football, all of my fans, y'all already know who I'm representing every time you see me. Let me make sure I take care of these shares real quick, and we're going to get going. That's one. And 2. And make sure I include my folks in Single Moms Matter as well. All right, good. Got everybody there. And welcome in, welcome in. When you come in, drop your city in the comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching from. And show a little love. When you come in, tap that like button. Let's jump on the algorithm and run these numbers up today. We got another great show. If you missed the show yesterday, make sure you go back, go on the page and check it out, because we had a great show yesterday. And I don't think today is going to be any different. I want to welcome everybody in. Like I said, make sure you drop your city in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, and we're going to get going. I'll set that up there. And I think we're ready. Welcome in to Joseph and David. I appreciate y'all coming in. Make sure you represent your city. If you ain't got no love today, I'll show some love from my city to yours and welcome in to you. If you've never been here before, we talk about a little bit of everything, but generally we get started with a Rice's Rules tip of the day. Now, if you're not familiar with that and you're not familiar with Rice's Rules, basically that's just safety and situational awareness. I always try to show at least one situation, and then we unbox it and try to break it down where it doesn't happen to you. Welcome in to my man Perry. What's going on, my man Den? I appreciate everybody coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Tap that like button when you come on in through the door. It's like wiping your shoes before you come in the crib. Just tap that like button, and we are going to get started with the tip of the day. Now, to set it up, basically, this is a family going to the gas station in Detroit, and they're sitting in their vehicle when they run across the jump out crew. If you watched any of my Rice's Rules videos, you know I'm always talking about the jump out crew. And special shout out to my man out there, Mr. Smith in Chicago. You know that's my home city. Even though I'm rocking the Ravens, you know, hey, I'm Chicago born and bred, with a little bit of Houston in there also. So let's get started and welcome in Miss Monica. We're going to start with the Rice's Rules tip of the day. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you the video and then we'll unbox it. Let's go. Now, as you can see, family sitting in the vehicle when they get approached. Now, right away, once it gets to that point, it's too late. Once it gets to that point, it's entirely too late for you to be able to do anything. I'm going to run it back one more time for the people that didn't get a chance to see it. Again, look at the car that's in the background behind them. They're just sitting there, but the car to watch is the white truck. Now they see these folks approaching, and truthfully, you got to pull off on these people. You got to pull off on them, because once it's going down, it's too late. Once you let them break that safety zone in between you and a safe spot, it's too late. Period. They ended up losing their vehicle off of this. I'm not even sure if they got their vehicle back. But the fact of the matter is, you got to make sure that you are always on point. So my tip of the day is always keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you practice situational awareness. If you see someone approaching you, then you need to make sure you do everything you can to get out of that jam. I don't care. You need to get out of that jam. You don't wait on those folks to see what they want. You see somebody walking towards you with a towel in their hand. Then Tripp say, my car is my, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Not at all. Because at the end of the day, you get in a situation like that, Cincinnati, Ohio tapping in. So you understand Cincinnati, because I'm sure it goes on out there where you at too. I'm sure you know. The jump out crew ain't just in one city. That's one thing you better know for sure. The jump out crew is not just in one city. It's not even a group of people so much as it is a mindset. So always keep your head on the swivel. If you're with your family and you need to get gas, understand something. A lot of times we go to the gas station late because we put everything else before that. We need to make sure that we practice situational awareness. I'm going to run through it one more time because I see people still coming in. Again, you see the people approaching them from the top of the camera, from the top of the screen. One person got something in their hand already. And honestly, you have to be ready, because you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and always keep your safety protection tool with you at all times, regardless of what. That's our tip of the day. Scott said, Richard Pryor said it best, run. And if you can't run, drive. You dig? If you can't run, drive. It's really that simple. Dan said, my car locked, that Leo in my pocket, my 40 in my pants. Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do nowadays. But that's our tip of the day. And now we're going to move on, because if you know how I do, I don't like to sit on subjects too long. But if you didn't get a chance to watch it, it don't hurt to rewind or check out the replay afterwards. And the new people coming in, make sure you tap that like button as you come in. Welcome in, Stefan. I appreciate you. Now, the next subject we're going to get on is the boring guy. In many relationships, you see people leave because they say that their partner was boring. They say that their spouse was boring. He never did anything. You don't hear a lot of men leave their woman because she was boring, because most times we like it when our woman is around us. We like it when our woman is around us for the most part. If you love her, you want her around you. But you do hear about ladies sometimes saying that, hey, look, dude didn't never want to do nothing. He went to work, he came home and ate, but he never wanted to go nowhere. He never wanted to do anything. So I got a young lady that spoke to this situation, and I want you all to hear it, and then we're going to unbox it. Let's go.
The difference between a boring man and an exciting man is that a boring man will not have 2 and 3 women pregnant at the same time. That's the difference. So you call him boring because he's not running the street every single night. You call him boring because he's not chasing drama. You call him boring because he's super consistent. So let's keep it real a second on exactly what exciting means when it comes to a man. So you get late night calls from other women exposing him, asking you why your man is in their bed at 2 a.m. in the morning. You walking into places getting confronted by women that you didn't even know existed because he told them the same lies he told you. You hypersensitive over checking his phone because deep down, you know you ain't the only one, and you know you just one of many. Let me break it to you. That is not excitement. That is nothing but stress and heartbreak that's dressed up like it's fun. Meanwhile, the boring man is steady and he at home in the bed. Think about it. Consistency is what keeps a roof over his head and maybe yours.
Now, she makes some really valid points because many times people mistake a person that's peaceful, a person that's ready to sit down, a person that is comfortable with their home and their environment with a boring person. And most times, guys just want peace. If you work a lot, you want to come home, you want to chill. Yeah, sometimes you and your lady will step out, but excitement isn't excitement to a man that has his woman. Now, he may have his things that he like to do. Hell, he might like to go zip lining. He might want to go rock climbing. He may want to go camp in the woods. He may want to do all those things, but that don't necessarily mean that because that man don't want to be the man out on the town all the time, because that man don't want to be Mr. Popularity, because that man don't want to be all those things, that does not mean that that man is boring. So the question of the day for my people: do women set themselves up for failure by choosing the exciting guy? Do women set themselves up for failure by choosing the exciting guy? I want you all to put it in the comments what your opinion is on that. Do you think that women sometimes set themselves up for failure for choosing the exciting guy over the boring guy? And a reason why this is a topic today is because I was watching a video last night, and it's this lady named Kendra G. She got this relationship show, and she had a woman on there that had been married for 23 years. 23 years, and she left her husband because she said he was too boring, and she wanted to go outside and experience what the other ladies who were single were experiencing. Well, she got with the new guy after she divorced her husband, and the new guy and her, they got a chance to get together, but it wasn't what she thought. And the new guy ended up leaving her alone, and she was on her 9th year being single, and her husband had moved on. She was on her 9th year of being single after leaving a husband of 23 years because she said she didn't get enough excitement in her marriage. So the question again, do some women set themselves up for failure by choosing the boring guy? Drop a 1 in the chat if you think that they do set themselves up for failure, or drop a 2 in the chat if you think the lady deserves her excitement. And look, hey, it's just part of the game. I want to see what you all think about this, because with the internet like it is, and how so many people watch people's stories on Instagram, they watch all of the different places they go on vacation, they see all of these things that people are doing. Sometimes people will get finessed into believing that they're living a boring life. But is choosing the boring man or even choosing the boring woman the best idea? Are you setting yourself up for failure by choosing Miss Hot Girl Summer or Mr. Popularity? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's setting yourself up for failure. My man Alan said number 1, that's definitely setting yourself up for failure. But drop a 2 in the chat if you think, look, he need to be exciting, or I'm going to leave this relationship and find the exciting man. Or she needs to be exciting, and I'm going to leave this relationship if I can't find an exciting woman. It's a crazy situation to me because so many times people will leave for that. And we know nowadays in 2025, divorce rates are higher than helicopter blades. Divorce rates are higher than helicopter blades. And a lot of times the reason is because people don't understand. Marriage and relationships ain't always going to be exciting. Sometimes it might be as exciting as watching paint dry. But on the other hand, it's steady. It's dependable. You know what you got. You don't have to worry about going out and having somebody judge you if you're not perfect. You don't have to worry about any of those things. See, people talk down on marriage because they haven't experienced the security of a good marriage. People talk down on marriage because they haven't enjoy the security of a good marriage. Now, my man Scott said, boring guy equals good man. Exciting guy, bad guy. And they're called bad for a reason. I agree with that 1,000%. Thank you for that comment, Scott. I agree with you 1,000% on that. Many times what we perceive as being exciting ain't as exciting as we think it is. We only think it's exciting because we're looking from the outside. You could look outside and see people doing something and look like fun, but when you start doing it, it scares the hell out of you. Seriously, what looks fun all the time doesn't mean it's going to fit you. Got a lot of people that don't understand that, and we see a lot of relationships end. I've seen posts where ladies say that he got to take me out to dinner at least once a week. I see a lot of posts where ladies say we got to go on vacation at least every 3 months. I see a lot of posts that say a lot of things about everything that has nothing to do with a good relationship. Vacation don't make a relationship good. You see couples arguing like hell on vacation. Going to dinner don't make a relationship good. If y'all get back home for dinner and he can't stand looking at you. If y'all get back from dinner and she can't stand being in the same bed with you. She going to sleep in the other room. You the roommate. You just the glorified experienced guy. And I tell you guys all the time, like the best one out of the women that like you. And ladies, same difference. Stop waiting on those who ain't showed up and start paying attention to those who have been there the whole damn time. I mean, it's common sense to me, and it's maybe because I am married that I think that way. But I think if more people were in a marriage-minded mindset, even if they don't want to sign the paperwork, relationships would work better because we would choose differently. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on because I got a lot of topics today, and I want to make sure we get to all of them. If you just came in, make sure you tap that like button like you're wiping your shoes off before you walk on a clean carpet. Tap that like button. Make sure we know you were here. And if you haven't dropped what city you watching from, put that in the comments. I appreciate you, Mr. Melvin. I want to make sure I throw that up on the screen, my brother, because I agree with you 1,000%. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to move on to the next topic, and it is called women's intuition. Y'all ladies done heard of that, right? When y'all, you know what, I went to sleep last night and I had a dream. I had a dream you was doing some shit. Let me see your phone. Women's intuition. Sometimes you get it right. A lot of times you get it wrong. Now, before I move to that, let me just make sure I go through my comments. My man Mike Simmons said facts, 100. My man John Luke said facts. My man Michael Simmons, Bennettsville, South Carolina, shout out to you. My man Scott, Lynn, Massachusetts, what's going on out there? Miss Betty Lombardo, Florence, Massachusetts, I appreciate you as usual. You know, we always appreciate you coming through the door. If you want your city to get some love, drop it in the comments so that way I can shout your name out if you ain't heard it in lights, and I can shout your city out. Let's keep it moving. Women's intuition, that's what we were talking about. Bam! This subject right here today rocked the page. I'm talking about first 2 hours, 200 comments. And the question is simple. Why do some women reject the men who would have been their husband for the ones who left them to raise their children alone? Why do some women reject the men who would have been their husband for the ones who left them alone to raise that baby by themselves? When you get that question, I want you to drop your answer in the comments. You can make it short, you can make it long, but if you want the world to see it, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure that I put it on display and read it. Now, the question from that is, what makes a woman choose the bad boy? This goes back to the boring and exciting guy, doesn't it? This goes back to the boring and exciting guy. Many times, that guy who wanted to be her husband, hey, he might not have been the exciting guy. Many times, the guy that wanted to be her husband, he got a regular 9-to-5 job. Many times, that guy who wanted to be her husband, he ain't the finest man in the world, but he's steady, he's dependable, and he wants you. Not everybody in the neighborhood, he actually wants you. He actually wants you because he adopts the rule that Uncle Rice adopts. The fact of the matter is, it don't matter if the world thinks she pretty, bro. It don't matter if the world thinks she fine, as long as she pretty to you. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. Let me get to these chats real quick. Alan said, big facts. My man Michael says, straight foolishness. That's why she chose the wrong one. And my man Scott said, because the guy she chose was the exciting guy. Exactly, bro. And my man Alan again, no one knows what the heart hungers for. Now, see, it's one thing about what the heart hungers for, and I can respect that, brother. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Damn what the heart is hungering for. You got to use your common sense. I'm going to say that for you again for the people in the back. Sometimes you got to say, damn what the heart is hungering for, and use your common sense. If women intuition is so good, you should be intuitive enough to see that this dude right here ain't what the owl left on the limb. And we know what that was. See, it's not about your intuition. It's about your discernment. If you get with somebody who ain't no good for you, and you done got rid of one that was, understand something. Husbands don't grow on trees, and neither do wives. Husbands don't grow on trees, and neither do wives. Boyfriends do. Boyfriend come a dime a dozen. A lady can walk outside with a sign. She can walk outside with a sign right now and hold it up. And that sign can say, I am looking for a boyfriend. And damn it, she's going to find a boyfriend fast. You could send an average man outside and he could hold that same damn sign up, I'm looking for a girlfriend, and he gonna be on that damn corner for a while. Ladies, understand something. You got a lot of power in this relationship game, but how you wield it is what's most important. You got a lot of power in this relationship game, but utilizing it for bad is just like utilizing, like Superman being a bad guy. Understand that. Just because he wants you, don't mean he wants to keep you. See, some guys treat dating like a rent-a-car. They don't mind driving it. They'll drive it like it's theirs. Pull up in front of their friends, let their family see it, take it out of town, even go wash it. I done seen people put seat covers in a rent-a-car that wasn't even theirs. But when it come time to take that rent-a-car back, what do you think that man is going to do if they tell that man he got to buy that rent-a-car? He going to raise hell and might run out the back door. He might say, hold on, y'all, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go to the bathroom. Hold on. Hold on. He might say, I got to go to the bathroom, but he ain't coming back. Let me read these comments right fast. Y'all know I get to rolling on this. And my man say, in that order. Got a LOL from my man Allen. Got some claps from my lady Roseanne Whitmore. My man Scott said, LOL, yup. And Allen said, exactly. Because the truth is the truth. It don't need no proof. I know a lot of people think the truth needs validation, and if it don't work with what they talking about, we ain't supposed to listen to it. You got Tootsie Rolls in your ears. You got a sugar baby in both ears. You don't want to hear nothing if the truth don't match up to what you want. But the fact of the matter is the truth don't need no validation from you. The clouds don't, the moon don't, the sun don't, and the truth don't neither. So thinking that since the truth don't line up with what you want matters, that's a losing strategy. So again, choosing the bad guy over the boring guy is setting yourself up for failure, ladies, in my opinion. It might be okay temporarily, but the bottom fall out of that like a greasy Polish in a brown bag. The bottom fall out of it. And if you're going to use your women's intuition, make sure you use it at the right time. Don't use it to sniff out the bad guy while you're laying beside him and he's asleep and you're going through his phone. Use the damn intuition when you're choosing. Because intuition don't mean nothing if you using it after the fact. You just mitigating damage at that point. Everything after a bad decision is collateral damage. Can you dig it? Everything after a bad decision is collateral damage. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. If you just came in, make sure you tap that like button like you're wiping your feet off when you're walking in Granny's house and she got that brand new beige carpet. She got that beige shag carpet, Persian rug. Wipe your feet off, tap that like button when you come on in. And I appreciate everybody being here. We moving on. You know, I don't stay on no subject too long. I try not to because it don't do me no good. I don't think it do nobody else no good. So, next topic. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah. Nowadays, folks think if they pay all their own bills, they don't have to follow no relationship rules. Nowadays, folks think that if they pay all of their damn bills, they don't have to listen to nobody. You got some folks that stay out of relationships just because they don't want to listen to nobody. I ain't listening to no man. Ain't no man gonna tell me nothing. You got dudes, I pay all the bills. She better not say nothing to me. How does that work positively in a relationship? Because both parties can't be happy if ain't nobody listening to nobody. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. Drop a 2 in the chat if you think I ain't got to listen to no damn body. I pay my own lights, my gas, my rent, my car note, but I got a boyfriend. I don't think you got a boyfriend. I don't think you have a boyfriend if you think you could be in a relationship with a person and they ain't never gonna teach you nothing. So this brings the question. The teacher-student method. In a relationship, do you expect your partner to come to you already knowing everything, or do you prefer someone who is teachable? Do you expect a ready-made bed, or do you want to have to make it up yourself? Let's see what we got in the chat. Miss Karen said, you right. Hold on before I do Scott. I got my man Donnie Gillies. If women's intuition was real thing, there wouldn't be a single mother unless she was a widow in the world. I could feel it, I could dig it. So do you really honestly believe that you would prefer a person who is already pre-made, ready to go? You ain't got to teach them nothing. They come through the door knowing everything. Or do you think in a relationship, you have to be able to teach and learn from each other? Because let me make sure I roll it back. House rules. Does paying your own bills affect how you interact with your significant other? Does paying your own bills affect how you interact with your significant other? If you got to pay half the rent, do you only listen half the time? If you got to pay half of your own bills, do you only teach your man half the time? Drop a 1 in the chat If paying your bills gives you the right to not listen to a damn thing your man or your woman say, or drop a 2 in the chat if you believe that paying your bills should not affect how you two interact. Because you see it on the net all the time. I pay my own bills. Why would I listen to a man if I pay for my own bills? I pay my lights, I pay my gas, I get my own hair done, I get my nails done, get my own lashes done, I get my own wax done. If he ain't gonna pay nothing, why should I listen? Do you think that is the way? Because a lot of folks think that's the way. Let's see what we got here. We need to be able to teach each other and learn from each other. I feel you, bro. I've been single for too long to put up with her BS. That's what my man Alan said. And I genuinely believe the reason we get into these types of situations and these mindsets where I've been single too long, I ain't listening, we done got used to being alone. That's all that is. So, do you believe that because you pay your own bills, you should make all your own rules? Or does your partner have the right to make some rules in the relationship? Drop a 1 if it's your way or the highway, or drop a 2 if you're willing to work with a person. Let's see what we got in the chat. Lynette said no. Scott said if you're paying your bills, that just means you being an adult. It shouldn't affect how you interact. Salute to you, Scott. I agree 150%. Now, if you don't agree with that, I'm not knocking your way. If you don't agree with house rules and things got to go a certain way, because look, baby, just because you pay your own bills don't mean I'm cool with you going out every weekend. Just because you pay your own bills don't mean I'm cool with you spending the weekend over at your male friend's house, but I can't tell you nothing because you pay all your bills. Just because you pay all the bills, honey, don't mean that you could go over to your baby mama's house for as long as you want to go. I call and you don't answer, but you come back and say, damn it, don't say nothing to me because I pay all the bills. Y'all see how that could cause friction in a relationship? Who the hell really wants to be in a relationship where you got to do everything another person say and you have no say-so? Do anybody want to be in a relationship like that? Because I damn sure don't. I couldn't picture it. And I know paying your own bills makes you an independent man and an independent woman. But truthfully, damn, we over 40. Aren't we all supposed to be independent by now? I gotta come through the door paying your bills. You gonna treat me a certain way if I pay the bills, but if I don't pay the bills, I'm gonna get treated another way. To me, that means you don't like me. Am I wrong? If you treat me good when I pay the bills, but treat me shitty when I don't pay the bills, don't that mean you don't like me, you like my money? Ain't that what that means? Seriously, I want to see y'all answers on that. My man Alan said, I understand what you're saying, but understanding doesn't mean I agree with your actions. Hey, salute to you, Alan. I agree with you, bro. You know how I rock. Whether you agree with me or not ain't really the point. I really like to just say what I want to say and what I feel needs to be said. And whether people take what they need and leave what they don't, or they say to hell with all of it, that's up to you. Y'all know how I'm coming. Roseanne said, I'm hyper independent. So, Roseanne, does that mean that because you take care of everything yourself, you don't listen to no man? Does that mean you ain't willing to listen to a man since you hyper independent? Lynette said, no, but I'm too loyal to my own words, to vows I value for self. But things come to a halt when time moves us in corrective order. Because, and I get what you're saying. Basically, you saying that when things get right in a relationship, then you get right? Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't want nobody to wait for shit to get right, for them to get right. We're going to learn from each other from day one, but I'm going to lay my rules down. You can lay your rules down. We can merge those rules and make our rules, but you ain't going to do whatever the hell you want until I do what you want me to do. See, because then I feel like I'm tap dancing. I'm Sammy Davis Jr. some damn body. I feel like I'm tap dancing for you at that point. And that's what I'm not going to do. Okay, that's not what you mean. I appreciate that. My man Scott said exactly. Roseanne, okay. You say, nope, I still listen. Salute to you, girl. Okay, I was just making sure now. Because I thought you was the type of woman that listened there, but I had to ask you because you said, I'm hyper independent, damn it. I'm hyper independent. That means overly independent. And it's nothing wrong with being independent because sometimes our situations force us to be that way. Lynette said, I'm answering to the question you asked upon the relationship I'm in. Respect. I understand. I know sometimes I get out the box, Alan. Y'all know how I do. If it ain't funny, it ain't me. But we gonna move on. I appreciate everybody dropping y'all comments because you know that's how we do. If we ain't talking, we ain't talking. Simple said put. If we ain't talking, we ain't talking. And if you in here right now and you ain't tapped that like button, damn it, take your shoes off in my house and tap that like button. All right, we going on to the next one. And all of these topics, I try to make sure kind of fall into line. This goes to what we were just talking about, the teacher-student theory. So I put this post up and it had over 2,000 reactions to it and I don't know how many comments. And it simply said, if he ain't trying to teach you, he don't really love you. A solid man teaches his woman the proper way to love him and herself. I got a lot of pushback for this. I got a lot of ladies telling me that what the hell, what a woman don't know what she need to know already. Why would a man need to teach me anything? Blah, 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 blah. It sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher talking. But I was speaking strictly from my teacher-student theory. In a day with your partner, at some point, you're going to be the teacher. At some point, you're going to be the student. Many people don't understand that nobody wants to be around a know-it-all too long. Saying that if he ain't trying to teach you, he don't love you, don't mean that as a woman, you don't know how to love yourself or him. It don't mean you don't know how to do this, that, and the third. It simply means that as a man, if you're studying your woman, like Snoop say, she should be learning a man and earning a man. If you studying your woman, you see the things that she falls short on. Like if she's studying her man and she really interested in you and she really love you, bro, she's going to see the things that you fall short on. She ain't going to let you walk outside with spinach in your teeth, nor a booger in your nose, or if you shave your head like me, hair on the back of your neck when your whole damn head's supposed to be bald. You supposed to be wearing a bald head, but you got a whole shag in the back. You got a damn mullet in the back because you ain't see that part. If your lady love you, she gonna teach you. You know what, baby? Before you walk out that bathroom from shaving your head, could you please cut that shit on the back of your neck? Let me read these comments, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I got to catch up with y'all. Miss Lynn says, she said facts. Roseanne said agree. My man Donald said every day is a school day, and none of us know everything. None of us are too old to learn. Salute to you. Hey, my man Scott said everyone is different love languages, different desires. That's a fact. And a lot of people don't get that. I got another facts from Miss Lynette. And of course, I got the laughing, crying faces from my man Allen. I told you, bro, if it ain't funny, it ain't nothing. But the truth of the matter is, do you want to be walking outside with a shag when you supposed to be bald-headed? Ladies, do you want your man to let you walk outside with your wig crooked? Do you want your man to walk outside? Do you want your man to allow you to walk outside with your skirt tucked down in the back of your tights? Do you really want that? Do you really want him not to say, baby, one of your eyebrows look like you hella surprised and the other one look like you sleeping? Do you want that? You want him to tell you, nah, baby, hey, babe, go back in the bathroom because your eyebrow look like the McDonald's arches. You want that. You don't want your people to let you move like that, because if they let you move like that, that means that man, that woman don't love you. I don't care what nobody say. My man TK said agree all the way. Scott said LOL, yep. Describes me in the morning. My man Allen said, hell no. And Miss Lynette said, I don't believe that should exist and matter. I genuinely think that you have a lot of relationships where a person will let you walk outside with spinach in your teeth. They will let you walk outside with your breath on tart time and not say nothing to you. Nothing. And the problem is, the reason why people do that sometimes is because you don't know how to react when your person gives you constructive criticism. You'd rather he let you walk outside looking like a pack of biscuits that you done hit on the side of the stove to open up than you would him saying, baby, look, we're gonna go shopping. We're gonna find you a whole new wardrobe. Damn, girl, hey, you getting a little curvy there. All right, we need to get you a few new clothes. It is a way you can say it. I admit that. But the one person that should be able to tell you, hey, baby, you got tissue on the back of your shoe. I know we had them tamales last night and you was in that bathroom a long time and you were almost late for work, but get that tissue off the back of your shoe. You want that. So like I said, and I'm going to stand on it, and this is for all the people that tried to tell me, I don't want no man to teach me. Honey, you don't want to walk outside with your skirt stuffed in your stockings. So let that man teach you that you moving a little too fast, baby. When you trying to get back for break, you need to slow down. It's okay to learn from a man like it's okay to learn from a woman. Let's stop acting like that's not cool, because that's how we got better back in the day. Now we're trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing, and it's not. Let me read these comments right quick. Miss Lynette said, if he could really see me for me, not out of me, that it's explained. Mindset on image. Got laughing faces. Reason being why that old time history living never improves from the worst. Image is not true. Spirit is. I agree. All right, we're going to move on to, man, we blew through this one today. Y'all believe it's almost been an hour? Do y'all believe it's almost been an hour already? We've been rocking. If you just coming in, like my man Ramos, hit that like button, wipe your shoes off when you come in the crib. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right, last topic. We gone. Now this one right here. This one right here. Nowadays, some women celebrate getting divorced, having divorce parties and all types of shit. But is it celebrating a failed marriage? Is celebrating a failed marriage really a flex? Is celebrating a failed marriage really a flex? I want your comments first before I say a word. Is a divorce party a celebration of a failed marriage or reclaiming your power? Is celebrating a failed marriage really a flex? You could drop a 1 if you think it is, or a 2 if you think it's not, or type a more detailed answer. My man Scott Rowinski said, nice. My man Donnie said, hell nah. Roseanne said, hell nah. Is that really a flex? I see people, girl, here go my invitation for my divorce party. Here it is. Girl, didn't you have one of them 2 years ago? We ain't gonna talk about that though, girl. Don't, no. I'm reclaiming my power. You can reclaim your power without celebrating a failure. We learn from failures. We don't celebrate them. Otherwise, you just repeat it. Damn. All right, Eddie. Eddie say, no, it's being a 3-0. Whoa. All right, Eddie. I hear you, Brody. All right, let's see what this say. When a man allows me to honor him as my God on earth and all faith to faith as I see him, I'll kneel. A divorce and no divorce is a flex. I agree. I can't see it being a flex either personally. But I think some people genuinely think it is because they have bigger parties for their divorce than they did for their wedding. They went to the justice of the peace for the wedding, but they took their ass to the biggest hall in their little ass neighborhood for their divorce party. More people was at your divorce party than your wedding. See, me understanding that marriage is ups and downs and that it can end in divorce. Every marriage ain't perfect. We see that according to the numbers. But I genuinely believe that we should be spending more time healing than gloating. Gloating because you chose the wrong person to marry, I don't get that. Gloating because you finally decided that badass relationship was over, I don't get that. And I'm going to highlight that, Miss Lynette. Publicity stunt. And free advertisement for the next man. It's like the young lady I watched on TV that said, I got 3 children and I'm looking for a new guy, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But she said, I got a 10-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 4-month-old. I want y'all to hear me clearly. The young lady said, I got a 10-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 4-month-old, and I'm now looking for a new boyfriend. I'm not even going to put a question under there. Do you think if you have a child that's only 4 months old and you have a child that's 1 year old, do you think that looking for a boyfriend is the best idea? Drop a 1 in the chat if you do, and that's her business. Drop a 2 in the chat if you think that's a badass idea. I don't think that's a wise idea. Baby, maybe you need to slow down a little bit. Maybe you need to pump your brakes or get them motherfuckers checked. Because obviously the brakes ain't working. The brakes are gone. The brakes are gone on this damn thing. So if you have a child, now let's do the math. You got a 1-year-old and a 4-month-old. Damn, that's like you just got out the hospital with little man. And my question would be, and I think it's a fair question, and ladies, if you meet a man and he tell you, yeah, I got a baby that's 14 months and one that's 4 months, but I really like you, I think you need to do some research on that brother. I don't care what he look like. Okay, that's from the last one right there. She's looking for help only. Money. My man Eddie. Scott said too, bad idea. And we got to get out of the habit of thinking that when we talk about things like this, it's about shaming somebody. Damn it, how is telling the truth shaming somebody? My mama taught me a long time ago that you don't do shit that you're ashamed of. All right, let me see these comments because they pouring in. I got a long one from Miss Betty. Women's intuition isn't always right. Some women look for anything just to start drama. They're insecure and can't stand that the man is comfortable in his own skin. When the marriage fails, it's because the woman is not satisfied with herself. Dang. Hold on. Let me read the rest of it. She's not satisfied with herself. Instead of trying to fill the empty gaps in her life, she's not satisfied with herself. Instead of trying to fill the empty gaps in her life, marriage is not to be taken lightly. You need to know what you're getting into instead of that wedding dress and the banquet. Marriage is a lifetime, not just until things don't work out. Other than that, stay single. That female that has all those kids needs to forget about that other boyfriend and close her legs and work on herself. Okay. Miss Betty come in with the hardcore. All right. And my man Donnie said, no, it's not that you need to work on yourself rather than just jump on the rebound D. And that's all different fathers. Then you really bad at closing your, damn, that's the second one I seen like that. All right. I think this one is a little more peaceful. Miss Lynette says she needs reflection and therapy because her agenda and intentions are unworthy of trust. She's looking for belief and help as emotional, not priority of self and individuals as a person. I have a 26-year-old and a 17-year-old. I ain't looking for money. I heard that, Miss Roseanne. You know, this is something we need to make clear too. Because a lady or a man is a single parent, that don't mean they want your money. I know some single parents that work way harder than a lot of people that don't have no kids. I know some single parents that have a lot more values and character than a lot of people that don't have no kids. I don't think being a single parent can automatically make you a person that doesn't have good character. But I do believe that if you've done something over and over and over and over again, it does show that you have bad decision-making skills. People don't want to agree with that. That's on you. Don't really make me no difference because y'all know how I feel. I just unbox it and say what I feel, and whether you decide that you rock with it or not is entirely up to you. Now, as y'all can see, we have reached an hour. And I believe we threw all our topics unless we got, wait a minute, what is this, a bonus topic? No, nope. No, that was the last one right there. And we agreed, a divorce party, not really a flex. At the end of the day, just know that we all can be deserving of the person we want, but you got to become the person that you're supposed to be before you find that person that really fits you. Look for your purpose and let your person find you while you in motion. Now, again, if you didn't drop your city in the comments, I'll shout you out. But I do want to shout out Miss Lynette. I want to shout out Miss Roseanne, my man Donnie. I want to also, let me make sure, my man Scott Rowinski, my man Eddie Hinton coming through with the truth. My man Alan Johnson, Trusty, also. Yeah, you was in the building today, bro. You was cooking. Scott Rowinski, back with us again. I appreciate you, brother. And if you haven't followed the page, do so. If you have not followed the page, please do that. I'm going to run a little streamer across the bottom because we do have our new book out. So if you haven't subscribed to the page yet, I made it as cheap. I made it cheaper than that cheap ass cup of coffee that you never finish that you get before work. It's $1.99. And if you want to support the content even more, go to Amazon Books and get the Playbook, Volume 1. You can't miss it. It's called the Playbook, Volume 1. And it looks, let me make sure I'm holding it right, just like this. Y'all be like them people on TV that's got some shit upside down. Playbook, Volume 1. Costs $11.11. Don't hesitate to go get it. I mean, hey, even if you don't read it, you're supporting your man. It's just that simple. But again, like I said, it is available on Amazon Books, the Playbook Volume 1. Subscribe to the page. And if you don't do none of that, lock in with me, follow the page. Make sure you check out the content every day. I work hard to make sure I bring you all common sense content about topics that get talked about, but not really in an adult fashion and manner. Ain't none of us better than none of the rest. Ain't none of us no better than the next person. That's the thought I want you to take from this today. Roseanne is coming in from Canada. Miss Lynette is from the Carolinas. Appreciate you. My man Donnie is from Scotland. Shout out to Scotland. I need to get over there, bro. I need to get over there. I heard it's beautiful there. When I worked at the eye doctor, the ophthalmologist went to Scotland on vacation and damn near didn't want to come back home. So I know it's nice over there. But with that being said, thank you for coming in with me today and unboxing it. I'm your man, Rice D, a.k.a. Uncle Rice, to all the folks that love me. And I might be a lot of other words to the ones that don't. I appreciate all y'all. If you're coming in late and you're catching it on the tail end, don't forget to tap that button. I see Renika Busby coming in. And I appreciate all y'all. Y'all enjoy your